the miracle doc, they counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Night CrossFit Talk. I am on an iPad, so I can't use any of the special effects, any of the sounds. Probably won't be able to share many screens, but here we are.
What about the fact or fiction? Can you bring those up or not even?
Yeah, I'll be
you're
able
to do that.
Yeah, they're within StreamYard, so I'm okay there.
Got
it. So, what's going on?
Not much.
I did a lot of cleaning this weekend around the condo and some corrections, and report card comments are coming up next week. So busy time for being a teacher.
Yeah. Here we go. Studio internet still on my. It's not my internet. It is actually my laptop. I had it with a guy all weekend. Runs fine. It might be that it. I don't know. I have no idea at this point. It was working fine for me all afternoon. When I got it back, I brought it down here, and when I hook it up to the Rodecaster, it seems to go. So I don't know if it's something with the Rodecaster or what. But, yep. And then, sorry about the Bears. Yeah, it was a bad day. Bad day. But we're all right. I didn't expect to win that game. With my family being a Steelers fan, all of them, I know that the Ravens find ways somehow when their back's against the wall to do whatever. And I knew this weekend was going to be that for the Bears. So I didn't go in with the anticipation of a big win. So, Blue Jays are in the World Series.
Yes, they are. They've been keeping me up late at night all week.
What is the town of Toronto like, or the city of Toronto?
It's crazy. Like everyone's talking about it. Like it's a huge thing right now here. It's been like over 30 years, I think 32 years since they've been in the World Series. I grew up an Expos fan, and
R.I.P. Expos.
Really haven't watched much baseball in the last a while. But then once Guerrero Jr. signed with Toronto, I was a fan of his dad with the Expos. So at that point I started following his career, and then just to see how good he was basically right away. And I just jumped the bandwagon and became a Toronto Blue Jays fan a few years ago. So I'm not diehard as much as some people that grew up loving them in Toronto, but it has been very exciting to have them go on this run, and they're fun to watch. They have a deep roster. But
yeah, if their bats get hot, they're gonna make some noise.
Yeah.
It just LA has some really good pitching.
Yeah, they have the best pitching crew in the majors. But
yeah, starting pitching. If you get to their bullpen, you have a really good shot. They won. Blue Jays won game 1. Dodgers won game 2. So we're all even. 5 to go.
They didn't even have to go to any bullpen last game because that pitcher did the whole game.
Second one in a row. And those are unheard of these days with all the specialists.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an interesting thing happen to me this weekend. I've said on the show a million times, when I was growing up, my dream was to be a sportscaster, right? And I looked up to the Bob Costases and the Joe Bucks and the Harry Careys and the Howard Cosells. And I'm scrolling through Instagram, and all of a sudden I see an ad, and my voice is on the ad. And I was like, what is going on? And it gave me goosebumps. And so Vindicate is selling a new shirt for Colten Mertens. It says, "Don't be a dork." And if people don't know, Colten always calls his competitors dorks. And so at the very beginning of the ad, it's my interview with Colten at the Pasadena semifinals when I got to him on the floor and I said, when are people going to start believing? And that's what they used for the ad.
That's awesome.
And I know it's small and that we're niche and it's a little bitty thing, but you know, when you grow up and that's what you want to be someday, and all of a sudden an interview you did 3 years ago is being used in an ad, it was really cool. I think the line was, when are people going to stop doubting? And then he responded to that, and they used both his and my question, his response for the ad. And it's out on Instagram if you want to see it. It's really, it's right at the beginning. It's what kicks it off. But I mean, I'm playing it for my wife. I'm playing it for my mom. So it was really, really cool.
That's awesome. I'll check that out.
Judy Reed, that's sick. Terry, very cool. Kenneth DeLapp, that's cool as hell. Megan says, awesome. Thank you all. It just was a cool little treat. When you don't expect it. So that was cool.
Have you shared it on Instagram?
I did. I put it on my story.
Okay.
But it's probably already expired because I think it's been 24 hours.
Okay.
So, yeah. So big news this week. CrossFit Games 2026, San Jose, California.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I mean, it's what we expected, right?
I don't know if I expected San Jose.
Yeah.
See, I did. Me and Lexa talked about it, and that's exactly where we thought it was going to be, was San Jose.
Because of Dave's post walking around, or what?
Yeah. So like once it was we're like, there's no way it's going to be there, and then we're like, it should be like San Jose, like still like in like the NorCal area, but we had just said that city, and yeah, it was like what our predicted guess was.
So one thing I didn't know, like when he took his picture at the Valkyrie game, they normally play in where the Golden State Warriors play, the Chase Center.
But it wasn't there.
But it was booked one time, and so they played where the Sharks play, the SAP Center, because the Chase Center was booked because they didn't think they'd make the playoffs. And so was he at the SAP Center when he took the picture?
I don't remember. It looked like the Chase Center because I went to the Chase Center to watch like the Valkyries play, but it was more, I think I was just more looking at their Jumbotron like intro video, and it looked familiar from when I was there, but it could have been the other arena. I like San Jose. I think it's a nice place. Easy to get to. There's a lot of airports around it. Like you have like options to go to San Francisco Airport, San Jose Airport, Oakland Airport, and they're all like basically within, I want to say like an hour of each other ish. Like I normally fly into San Francisco, but it's not too far away from San Jose.
Is San Jose an international airport?
Yes.
I believe so.
So this is what I've heard from other people because I've never been there. San Jose Airport is 3 miles from the SAP Center. San Francisco is about 45 minutes away, but there is a train that goes from the airport directly to where the SAP Center is.
Oh, that's great.
And so I'm guessing it's faster by train than by car. But that's just me guessing. So those are 2 valid options, and there's an Oakland airport as well. So there are actually 3 airport options to fly into to find the best price.
Have you looked at flights yet?
I have not. I don't even know if you can look at flights a year out.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I bet you probably can.
Yeah, you can.
An idea.
I did book a hotel room.
I saw that, and you said that it was even more reasonable than Albany, so that's great.
And how close are you from the venue?
It's San Jose Airport, so less than 3 miles.
Cool.
So even if I have to Uber, like that's a quick Uber,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
That's good. I mean, that's better to find a little bit more reasonable price-wise area of California, because we know some of the other areas can be just so expensive, cost prohibitive.
I've also heard it's a really nice place to vacation. So if you want to add on a couple days, Napa is like right there. You have all of the big like Silicon Valley stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully it's for everything.
And they announced the dates too with it, which was nice. Because I thought just the location, but like the whole dates, location, everything. So yeah, looking forward to more information that they're going to be releasing in the next podcast or two that Dave was talking about.
What do you, do you think it's going to be like a day before at the ranch, or what do you think is the...
I feel like they have to go to the ranch, like for the 20th anniversary. Like it only makes sense to go back. Like the group went back in 2020, but it was such an intimate group of 5 and 5 during COVID. They flew them in the one time. When was that? 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Papa Frank, that's expensive there too. But like I said, I got my hotel. It was a 9 rating on booking.com. And Jamie and I have stayed in hotels that are like a 5.8. So to get a 9 for cheaper than I got my hotel in Albany, I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
CrossFit says short bus drive away from the ranch. Yeah, I've heard that it's like a good 45 minutes to an hour to the ranch from there, but I mean, you could drive a bus out.
I mean, we did it with Rogue Invitational going to the ranch for the run event. I feel like they would totally do a 45-minute hour drive to go to the ranch. Like totally worth it for multiple events, or even if it's just one event there, the hopper.
Yeah.
I could see that coming back too.
Yeah.
Questions my right there. Google is saying the drive right now from San Jose to Napa is 1 hour and 30. The Bay Area is huge. Yeah, but if I'm in Ohio, that's way closer than I'll ever be to Napa again.
That's true.
So it is right there for me. CrossFit says you could do it on a day the venue is not scheduled.
Could do what? A day at the ranch?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that they only booked it the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, for the venue.
Yeah, those are the dates they announced for the games. But they have added days on in the past that weren't a part of the original announcement. And
Those
usually
are
it's
normally
an
open to the
off-site
public.
event.
Yeah,
right?
open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Megan says, if I leave Iowa for that, I might as well make a vacation out of it too. Yeah. I mean, I've only been to California one time in my life. So like how many times, I mean, I might get there a couple more times in my life, but it's not going to be like so frequent that I shouldn't take advantage of opportunities. Multiple nearby actual real airports are nice for basically every athlete traveling in. Yeah, having options to every airport from around the world is pretty cool and way better than we had in Albany or Madison. Offsite will be swimming to Alcatraz and back. I think Dave put a nix on that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Ironman they used to do back in it's probably 80s now? And the first part of it was the 3-mile swim from Alcatraz to the mainland.
Yeah.
And they used to always say it was shark infested waters, and so many people tried to escape from there, and so it made the legend of the Ironman like this really daunting thing. It's so weird where we've come to this point. All these people wanted to swim from Alcatraz to San Francisco to start an Ironman, and now we're worried about swimming and it might be too dangerous.
Right.
So it's that's interesting.
What are the dates? Is it moved up like a week or two?
It's the end of July.
I thought.
I have like 25th in my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So like a week.
Like 24th, 25th, 26th.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Whatever the Friday, Saturday, Sunday is with around those dates.
Is it hot out there at that time of year?
Well, like the San Francisco, the Bay Area, there is night, like it's normally cooler, but I don't remember San Jose. I think it's still hot, like it's California.
Right.
But you would get some breeze, right, coming off the ocean.
I'd have to ask Lex. Lex used to live there for a little bit. She'd know the weather better than me.
Kenneth DeLapp confirms it's set 24th, 25th, 26th. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm down to one screen, so everything, all my notes I had on a second screen, I'm screwed.
Yeah, so Ed AI says, so then only 3 days again, not 4 or 5 days like years in the past. I mean, that's what we're speculating though, is that maybe the Dave's Twist announcement is going to be
the ranch on another day, but
right.
but no spectators.
Right.
Everybody's talking about the Bay Area fog can get really cold even in the middle of summer.
Yeah, I'm guessing I would not think it was hot.
There you go. Lex would know. San Jose is a lot hotter than Oakland, San Francisco. Yeah, because those are like perfect summer temperature. It gets hot, but it's still like breezy.
Yeah, I had to look it up on a map to see where San Jose was in comparison, and it's like a triangle. Across the top is Oakland and San Francisco, and at the bottom of the triangle is San Jose, and they're all on the bay in like a triangle.
And we're going to get our age group announcement this week.
Well, don't skip ahead. I know, Jamie, you don't read the rundown early, but
I read the rundown. I have the whole thing right now.
All right.
But that's what people are commenting. So,
yeah, cold is relative. Ed AI says cold is relative. It's 42 outside my house and it's fine. Yeah, my daughter just called. They're having 40-mile-an-hour winds in Montana right now.
oof.
She said she went to take the garbage out and it blew right out of her hands.
Jeez. Yeah, it's 45 here. Not warm enough for me.
So, Lex says no ocean breeze. Not near it. Okay. So there's no such thing as a bay breeze? Isn't that a drink? A bay breeze?
Yes.
It's like a sea breeze is vodka and cranberry juice. And a bay breeze is like a variation of that, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a different liquor or a different juice.
Yeah. I would have known that back in my bartending days. So, all right. So I'm excited about it. I was when I saw I could get a hotel for me, it's all about the cost. Like, right. Is it going to be affordable? And when the hotel was way cheaper than Albany, like I was stoked. Now it's just finding the plane ticket that's reasonable to get there. Andrew Sten believes that the Bay Breeze is grapefruit juice and vodka. So, yeah, it's been chilly here, but we had a nice day today, even though it was in the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, barely, like 62, 63.
I don't think we got out of like 55.
But you could get like some yard work done and not be like dripping in sweat. So, yeah, Larry said he got his hotel for almost half what he paid in Albany.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah, I bet you it was about half of what I paid.
Expensive. I mean, I paid for mine last minute, but it was expensive.
Yeah, for the amenities around. Now my hotel was beautiful, and I would not complain one bit about the hotel, but there was nothing around it that was worth eating at or anything like that. There was no extra. Oh, Andrew was wrong. Now here we go. I was wrong. Vodka, cranberry, and pineapple is a Bay Breeze.
Well, that sounds delicious.
I think I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like my college days there.
It's so funny. I love those kind of drinks, but I would never admit it when I was like a college guy because you'd get made fun of if you ordered a Bay Breeze or a Sea Breeze. So yeah.
That's like the only thing I could drink because like I hate beer, I hate wine, and like I'll just do like a fruity vodka mixed drink.
Yeah. Ed AI wants the good vodka, not the cheap stuff. Yeah. Cheap vodka is awful.
It is.
Now CrossFit's all negative tonight, man. What's going on? Your team lose today or something? There are tons of homeless in San Jose and very comfortable being homeless.
There's homelessness in every country or in every big city.
Yeah. Just bring extra sandwiches, hand them out. When I worked downtown Columbus, that's what I did. Because I never carry cash or anything. I would make extra peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I would just hand them out as I walked to my work. That was it. All right. So that's the games. The next thing I wanted to talk about is this week, the CrossFit came out with their new campaign, Forging Elite Fitness, off the backs of F the Quick Fix, CrossFit Secure. Now it's Forging Elite Fitness. Did you guys get to see the ad?
I saw I did not watch long enough of it. I don't know what I was doing. Scrolled past it.
It was like a minute and 10.
I know. I think I watched 15 seconds. I don't know. I caught the beginning and then just kept scrolling. I had a busy week with going to Monday Night Football and getting back into.
You're supposed to be resting by doctor's orders.
Yeah.
And I can't get you to watch a minute and 10-second video.
I watched it. I liked it. It was good.
I did see that this was a possibility. I didn't know it was official.
Too. I did not see that it was official.
I didn't either.
Oof.
Man, talk about going from the mountaintop to not. So I talked about it on the lunch show. I watched it right before I went on air. I was really pumped up by it. I thought it was really well done. I liked the narration. And then Andrew Hiller was in the comments. So we got into a discussion about what is it missing because he thought it was missing something. Okay. And so we got into a discussion about that. And I thought, honestly, it pumped me up. But I'm a believer in CrossFit, the methodology. I'm a believer in what it is. But the two things that I took away that weren't what would fall into a good reel are the beginning was like a glitchy thing that had nothing to do with the message. And there was no action item at the end. There was no come join us by going to the affiliate map and clicking on a CrossFit box near you. Or I think that's the piece that was missing the most. Like, how do we take this cool video and push it toward the affiliates?
Yeah.
And help them grow. And I think that was the piece it was missing. And after talking it out and thinking about it, I was like, that's right. It is missing that piece. Because yeah, you're all pumped up, but how I'm willing, how do I get there?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
So what do they need to do? Link the affiliate map in those videos?
Yeah, or add a 5 seconds, cut out a couple of the action shots and add a 5-second, go to CrossFit.com and click on the affiliate map.
Yeah.
If you're willing, we're ready for you.
Yeah.
So, and then I heard another argument that, and it goes with what Clooney's is saying. It seems like it's all marketing for current CrossFitters. I heard someone talk about that. That's how CrossFit grew initially, by getting the base pumped up and let them go tell everybody else about it and to bring them into the affiliate. But I don't know if we can go back to that again.
Right.
Because I think like the genie's out of the bottle, and you have to like show them that it's a fun place to be with other people. Right. And so I think that's where I do agree with Hiller. I do think there needs to be an action item at the end of like, how do you get to the affiliate?
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to pump up the base and let them tell more people again, but we need more than that now.
Agree. I mean, I think that's sort of what we talked about last week, and that's kind of our problem is we aren't reaching new people. We aren't reaching the people we need to reach. Like, it just is this echo chamber of ourselves who already love the methodology. I don't know how you grow it at this point. We're missing something.
Well, I feel like there's just so many options out there for people. There's the F45, there's the Orange Theory, there's the CrossFit, there's this and that, right? Alpha classes. So maybe it's something that's like, what are the differences with what you're getting out of all of those? And like, why is ours, the best? Or maybe something that's like kind of more explanatory in terms of what you're really getting from CrossFit and how it separates. Because I think all of these, like, we're just assuming that everyone just knows what it is. But I think, yeah, because I think people just don't know where to, like, how to start, where to go.
I mean, it still has that negative connotation.
It does.
Expensive, injury. It's hard. There's a large barrier of entry for people who are just hearing about it. They're just like, nothing's drawing them in.
Yeah, the movements are too difficult. I can't do that. I'm not in good enough shape. And the injuries.
Wayne Short says needs an ending like Mayhem that they ran during Crash. When you're ready, we have a spot for you.
I did like that.
I agree. Larry Young, either way, I'm very happy they're trying to bring the edge back.
Yeah.
All the moves lately are fantastic. Just praying the Open is a little more like the old Opens. It was a big deal. Like, you better get ready for the Open is coming. Here's where I think you just have to shift your mindset, though. The days of the 5-week Open are over. You have to look at it. The Open now is the 3-week Open with quarterfinals. And that is the entire Open. And so the first 3 weeks are you trying to get into the top 25% to be able to complete the last 2 weeks of the Open, which is really just a long weekend of like 4 or 5 elements. But I think that you have to change your mindset into believing that is the full Open now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Aaron Frazier, my affiliate has new people join all the time, but most don't stay for more than 3 months.
Man, that's
I think the affiliate then has to ask themselves,
Yeah.
what are we doing where they're not wanting to stay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it takes at least 3 months for people to. We sell our new member package is a 3-month package because most people don't see the benefit of it in a month or two, and I mean even 3 months is pushing it, but like you have to get into a routine. Most people are a little like too hesitant to start out for more than 3 times a week. So you kind of have to build up to 4, maybe 5 times a week and get into that schedule and consistency. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious what's going on with your affiliate, why they lose people. Because you should by 3 months be able to get them bought in.
Yeah. I like this. This is me.
Yeah.
David Reed, I never get injured because of CrossFit. I get injured because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ego and thinking that you should be able to do this, but you're not there yet, you know.
Most of my back things have been because I lifted a laundry basket, not because I deadlifted,
Yeah.
but because when you think you're strong now and you're home just doing something routine, you don't set yourself to lift it, right? You lean off to the side and like try to, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And then Clooney's makes a good point. The most viewed video on all CrossFit YouTube channels is what is CrossFit? People still don't know what CrossFit is. And I think that's the elimination of the media team. While it may have gotten too big in 2018 and may needed to be reduced a little bit, I don't know. I didn't work there. I don't know how many people were employed. But they were starting to put out a lot of videos with like 80-year-old grandmothers deadlifting and working out. And I think that was starting to tell people what it was. And right when we were heading in that direction is when they cut the media.
Yep.
And then we lost all that. And we went to the blue jugs and the couch.
Yep.
And then it looked asinine, to be honest. I know what he was trying to accomplish with that you don't even need weights to do it. You just need to do the movements, but it didn't come across well.
But I do think that they needed like they could go in a campaign that's like what is CrossFit and then more like updated version of it, even though like CrossFit hasn't changed, but just like a new campaign that's like fresh, and just like explaining the basics of taking all of these elements from like weightlifting or power lifting or throwing, body movements like calisthenics and gymnastics and cardio, and just combining them in thoughtful combinations, to produce the best adaptation. But like and then you have different types of people doing the movements, and then also maybe like functional movements, and like how you see them doing like a deadlift, and then you see like the grandpa grabbing something from the floor, like like that Christmas commercial that with that kettlebell always comes to mind. Like almost like adding something like that to like what is CrossFit and how it's transferable to everyday activities to just win at life. I think would be a good next campaign.
Yeah.
The two messages I wish that would be conveyed are that CrossFit is what you want it to be. Like, because you can scale everything. So it can be whatever you need it to be in that time. And the other thing I think that needs to be pushed is skinny is not healthy. Like being able to lift that baby at Christmas because he worked out, and that didn't come from being skinny. It became from moving and lifting that kettlebell so that he could lift the baby up over his head. Right? Because I think like with the GLP-1s, everybody's promoting skinny. And they're calling it healthy. Being skinny doesn't make you healthy.
Oh no, there's the skinny
There's
fat.
so many other aspects to health.
For sure.
Other than now that weight loss can truly is a big component to getting you there, but it's just one of the components.
Yeah.
The larger picture is it's not just working out, it's health and friendships and support. Yeah. Vicky, as always, you said it better than I do. And Fergie with the weekly question to Jamie. Jamie, would you rather sit in the middle seat to Scotland between two strongmen or do acid bath workout every day for a week?
I mean, you could do acid bath every day and not at the true intensity and just get through it. So, I mean, I'd lean there, but like, does this mean I get to go to Scotland for free? Because I think I might deal with that.
Well, and you know, I know you guys don't believe me, but Jamie is not big. She is tiny. Yeah. If anybody could fit in the middle seat between Brian Shaw and Thor, it's Jamie.
But Jamie's jacked.
She is.
She's not tiny. Because when I would go next to her, I'd be like, damn, Jamie, you're jacked. Making me feel a little small.
Yeah, I didn't say her muscles were small. I'm just like the overall Jamie is it's a lot in a little package.
Did you guys pick your seat on that Rogue plane?
I did not.
No.
Craig says he picked 10B. I don't even know.
I think that's the Ariel and Danny Spiegel seat. That one got a lot of votes.
Yeah, I wish I could pull it up and we could actually ask the question, but so the next big story of the week and caused some back and forth in our chat group is Dallin Pepper announced that he is not going to be at Rogue because he contracted Rhabdo. And he says during the Wodapalooza SoCal bike event, and this caused some debate back and forth. Publicly on the internet, there are people like John Wood and people like Hiller saying that it's too many competitions in a year. And why I wanted to bring that up is because my friend Carolyne has a different take on that, and I would really like to give her the floor to be able to talk about that.
Well, I don't think it's not like a different take. It just I don't think it's necessarily the amount of competitions. But I do think that there's something with the volume that just a lot of these athletes are training at in general. But you could have Rhabdo at any point in the year with a lot of training or limited training. A lot of it happens when you're dehydrated. It is a factor. And the symptoms of it don't start until 24 hours to even 24 to like 72 hours after you took, place in some sort of very hard activity. And stuff like that. I had Rhabdo one time in 2019, the only time I've ever had it, at the CrossFit Games. It wasn't from like, I don't know. It was a combination of things. I didn't train outside. I trained everything indoors. Like I didn't have access to a lot of outdoor activities when I was training for the games that year. And I was very dehydrated. Everything was outside, the sun. And then you mix that in with high volume workout like Mary. And yeah, it took almost a month for me to learn how to do a pull-up after, but like, it's very hard to say that, or like make a conclusion that it's just because they're competing too much. Like, I don't know that you can really say that. Like, it's not happening to everyone, and you could do one competition and it happens. Like, I wasn't, it could happen to anyone. It happened to a WNBA player. The best female point guard, Kelsey Mitchell, she had Rhabdo in the semifinals of this year's playoffs. Like she just started cramping at the basketball game and then like got taken off. And like, I just think it can happen to a lot of people, not just like CrossFit, like anytime you're exerting yourself. And a lot of times those symptoms have started maybe earlier on, like the day before, a couple days before, with heat, dehydration, high volume. So he could just be worn down from training as well. Not necessarily the competition part, but that workout was extremely hard and he's pushing himself to the max.
Aaron Fraser says, if you listen to Matt Torres this morning on WOD Prep, he said that they could tell something was building leading up to Waza. The 50 cal bike was just the final straw.
Yep.
I wish I could have kept up with WOD Prep. They were knocking shows out this weekend. Live from that Coachapalooza or Coachathon or whatever it was called.
Affiliate? Wasn't it like
Affiliate-thon. Yeah, something like, yeah. Because I'm really starting to like CJ and Claire doing that show.
Mhm.
I just could not keep up this weekend, especially being down a laptop. Grant, you weren't paying attention. Carolyn said she had Rhabdo at the 2019 CrossFit Games, out in the sun all day, big wad like Mary.
But it didn't start like Mary was the final string. Like my arms were stuck like this for, many days where I couldn't even extend them and they're swollen. But it started with like the ruck run being, middle of the day. Then like, I just remember like after that event, like I'm drinking water. And as soon as the cold water touches me, like I just like was losing control of my body. And like, it started earlier on that day. And then like Mary was like in the evening and that's like the last thing. But I'm assuming for like someone said, Torres said about Dallin, like I would have started prior to that event and maybe even a couple days before or even weeks before that some symptoms are starting to come. And that's just the final straw is that hard, intense workout with all of those machines and burpees and stuff. But it can happen in a car accident. Like, I don't think you can blame it on these athletes are competing too much. Like, I think it can happen to anyone at any time. If you're like, I don't know.
My apologies. It was an affiliate con, like Comic-Con, like those types of things. Yeah, sorry. I was getting it mixed up with Coaches Congress and trying to figure out whatever. But CrossFit says naming an event like my dad says Chipotle instead of Chipotle. Yeah. So my question is, if you know it's coming, is there a way to like stop it? Or is there too much pressure to go into the event? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or is it like like your instance, you were at the games. If you felt like you're not going to quit the games, right?
No, but the symptoms often come about like 24 hours to like 72 hours after. It's like I still did the sprinting event that following day. And I woke up that morning. I mean, I hurt my calf on the Mary event, like coming down from the rig. But regardless of the calf issue that I was having, like my arms felt very heavy. And like I was having trouble like extending them. I was like, oh, they're sore. But like I just felt like my upper body was stuck. And then the following day, it was getting worse and worse. Whereas like when you have DOMs, like, that peak, moment where like your muscles is sore is like, a day or two after. And then it gets better after. Like when you have Rhabdo, it gets worse and worse and worse. So it's like, started feeling it the next day of Mary, not right after Mary. Like I was cramping a little bit like in my calf after Mary because I had fallen from the rig weird, but I didn't know that I was having that I was going to have Rhabdo at that point. You don't like it starts a little bit later. It's almost like it's too late at that point. And if you didn't hydrate as well and like it, I don't know.
Fergie's asking the Granite Games. I think I missed it. It flew by. That was 2022 when Granite Games had the big heat wave at like 110 degrees on that football field, and Christie had the bad time there. Saxon was actually like helped off the field after the final event of the one night. It was crazy hot there, but that was 2022, not 2019.
I think I'm curious if Larry doesn't have a point here. Go ahead.
I've never looked, but curious if high protein intake, like athletes do, contributes to kidneys can't keep up, comps maybe cut back.
like he's saying at comps, maybe they should cut back on like the extreme protein intake.
Focus on like on carb intake.
Yeah. I could see that a little bit. Like, I mean, that's a lot for the kidneys to process.
And Aaron Fraser, looking back, they say Dallin's heart rate to sustainable paces were way off leading into the event. Looking back, they make the connection. So he's saying that they now, looking back at the data they had from before, they can make the connection as to why he got there. It wasn't like they knew that day that he was leading up to it, I think is what he's saying.
I just think that there's just like so many factors, and it's very like case by case on things that can happen. I think it's just hard to make that conclusion on what really went wrong with X, Y, and Z on everyone.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to get that out because we're heading into Fact or Fiction, and my first Fact or Fiction is going to involve this piece. So here we go. Fact or Fiction. The WFP has taken too many hits this week with the Pepper conversation, the withdrawals, etc., and now have a bigger hole to dig out of.
Before I answer, what's the Pepper conversation? Is that
the Rhabdo?
Oh, because he's not competing at the following WFP, or just...
Oh, no. The Rhabdo has not affected his WFP participation at this point, but people are saying too many competitions in the year, all of that. So that's what I'm talking about, the conversation. And then we have Haley and Victor Hoffer's withdrawals from WFP championships. And that's it.
I mean...
I think fiction, like, I don't know if it's really this week. Like, I'm not surprised by Haley not going there. She's not going to get her pro card after missing 2 events. Emma McQuaid's not going to have her pro card as well. Victor Hoffer probably not having his pro card. He tried to come back with his knee, but it's just not there. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like fiction too. I don't know if these are gonna stop it from growing per se. I mean, are there some athletes thinking through this and being like, I don't know if I want to be involved in 2 seasons and do this much? Maybe. But again, I mean, until they get through the season and we figure out what next season looks like, and are they being transparent with the amount per contract? There's going to be other things that are going to make this flop or not. And I don't think that this is causing a bigger hole.
Have we had any information on, like, are they paying out, like, have they been paying out the athletes on time and stuff like that? Like, I haven't heard of anything. Do they wait for the season to be done? Do they get their money up front? Well, I'm assuming not their money up front, because if you don't go to a competition, you don't get it.
Right.
But just curious how that works.
I have not heard that they have not been doing that. So I'm assuming that if the payouts were due now, they are making the payments in time. And I know the people behind it have the money. So it's not like, and they knew they were going to lose money going into year 1. I mean, so I think that is probably not a factor at all. Here's where I think the biggest thing is. One, I think Haley is a demonstration that people are already making this decision to go one way or another.
Yeah.
And Laura too. Laura, though, is going all WFP. Haley's decided all CrossFit Games.
Yep.
And so I think that there are people making the decision already to go all in one way or another. The other thing is, I think that this too many competitions conversation is growing. If you listen to Boys Interrupted, when they went to Tour Stop 2, a lot of them said that they were not into it like they thought they would be, that they just wanted a break. And I think that with them adding a 4th location next year, that is only going to amplify that conversation. And we may have more people choose one side or another, as opposed to trying to do both. So I do think that there's a little bit of a PR hole that they have to address and try to figure out a solution to. I don't think they're going away before the conclusion of next season, but I do think that it's a PR thing that they're going to have to address. That's my opinion. Vicky says pencil. Now, doggone it, I'm trying to get people on the right game. I was going to do pencil, pen, Sharpie this week, but the statements just didn't lend itself to that answer this week.
Yeah.
We'll go back to it, though, I promise. The original Space Cowboy, eventually that annoying fly either gets swatted or just goes away. And I'm probably the only one old enough to know what that joke was there, but okay. What doing this touchscreen is not fun. CrossFit says feels like the WFP is trending toward becoming a European tour.
I agree with that.
I don't think so for next year.
Inviting winners from the comps over there, I feel like that's what they're pulling towards.
Well, that makes sense though.
Because the finals are over.
The final is there, so you have competitions going on right now. And if your pool of athletes for the team divisions and stuff is so low, you may as well start using those competitions and inviting people to your event, because they'll bring hopefully family and friends and spectators. So I think that makes sense. I don't think it's turning into a European, but I think it's very attractive for Europeans to be going on this tour, because a lot of them did decide not to do the season this year.
Right. I that's where I think it's coming from, is a lot of the Europeans backed out of the games or don't want anything to do with CrossFit proper, and this is the alternative for them.
I guess I really need to see this show.
Yeah.
Torres talked about this as well. Basically said all his athletes are prioritizing the 2026 game season. Doesn't mean they're not doing WFP. He just says they're prioritizing.
Did you see Nick Matthews is Brute now as well? He switched.
I did not. Wow.
Yeah, he switched to Brute. He was proven, I believe. Yeah, he had a Brute shirt that so his video was cutting, a crop top.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect anything other than that for him. So I don't know which coach he's working with, but
I saw a clip from Girls in the Box Office saying that now that Brute doesn't have a headquarters, they're not hot anymore. In the hot, not hot. Come on. They just signed Nick Matthew. They just signed Emma Lawson. Like, they're not hurting. And they are going to be a force to reckon with. Dallin, Fee, James love Matt Torres.
Yeah, they have three of the best male athletes in our sport right now too.
Yeah,
they're growing. They're doing very well.
Yeah, they are going to stay hot for a while.
I mean, they're doing something right.
Plus, as I've said, Dallin Pepper is my favorite athlete in the whole wide world, and because he told people they should watch our show.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, and Hattie's there too.
Yeah, Patty.
Yeah. Right. Kenneth, some people call me Maurice. He got my joke. All right. But CrossFit Brute is becoming the University of Phoenix online. But isn't everybody? I mean, the only one with like a true headquarters is maybe Proven, but none of their athletes work out there all year. Tia and the group are even in Australia now.
I mean, Mayhem have quite a bit of athletes that are on the spot there, but
yeah.
But until Austin was dating Haley, he wasn't in Cookeville, and
I don't know. I mean, you had a pretty big handful of athletes there. Roman, Luke when he was training.
Vicky said Matt Torres moved back to Nashville and said every 4 weeks he'll be meeting with them in person.
Who's them?
I think his athletes.
But
how they're coming to him, or he's going to all these separate places? But
yeah, because they're all separated in different places.
Yeah, I think
that's a lot of travel.
Maybe one week with Dallin, 1 week with James. 1 week with Fee, 1 week with Emma. So yeah, Larry Young, you got it too. Okay. So the next fact or fiction. Oh, that one took a lot longer than I thought. Here we go. The Hennigers should be an example to all organizations inside the fitness space of how to run your company.
Oh, fact.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly have a lot of pride in their product. I mean, that's the people you want.
Everyone who is a Rogue athlete, everyone who works for Rogue loves working or doing the best that they can for the Hennigers. Like they're doing everything that, you know, like they're extremely loyal to Rogue. And Rogue is very loyal to their athletes as well. Like still supporting so many of them for the Legends division, you know.
If you did not see, so the one podcast I did watch is Katie on Coffee Pods and Wads. Like I live in Columbus. Rogue is a major player in our city. We love them to death here. They are so good to the city and the people who work there. But what she said in that interview, I mean, just elevated her in my view, as just a major player in leadership. And she said things like, if I make a handshake agreement with you and I look you in the eye, then I'm going to do what I said I did.
Yeah.
And I think if other people took that same approach, we would be in a much better situation in all the different CrossFit pieces. She talked about how she watches all the other competitions so she can learn from those to make hers the best it can be. Like, we've never heard that from other people. It just, every time she was approached with a subject, she just nailed the answer. And she also said, like, they're not going back to Scotland next year because 2 years is enough. They need to move around and give more people the opportunity to attend these events. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a great way to look at that.
And she said 2 years is perfect. It gives us, we know we can set it up the first year. We know what we're getting into year 2, and then we move to a new location to try new things.
I also think it keeps it fresh. If you always do it at the same place, although like I love Madison for the games, like people want to have an excuse to go visit different places. Once you visited once, oftentimes like you want to go somewhere else for the following year, just a new place, new memories. So I don't mind them, going a couple years in Aberdeen and then going like another venue, another place, and more options for workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah, like she said, she watched Crash. She says she watches like Wadapalooza. She watches all the events to learn from. And I thought it was cool. But the one thing that, we questioned why they didn't have a bigger presence at the age group games. And when she talked about that they were still unpacking from the games at that point and loading up for Scotland at that point to get the stuff on the ships to get overseas, it made more sense to me that like they were probably pretty thin at that point, trying to get everything back and out for what they were doing. And we've asked about the WFP lighting. Rogue takes all their own lighting over to Aberdeen.
Oh, wow.
That whole lighting rig got shipped over to Scotland last year and is getting shipped over there again this year. So she can guarantee that the floor is going to be visible for the stream. Like, that's the detail that is like just unreal. And I just liked it. Thoughts, Carolyne, or just a breath?
Well, I was gonna say I would love to see the behind the scenes day in the life of Bill and Katie.
You'll never see it.
I know, but that would be really cool to see, just because they're very involved, like at Rogue, and like, they're like, yeah, they're involved, they're everywhere. And even when like things are getting built at the games, like they're on the floor, hard hats on, doing stuff.
Yeah.
Leading from the front. So that would be cool to see.
Tristan, I bet they have some wild days. Yeah. The stuff they build, the stuff that they like, it's got to be interesting to just to see Bill at work with that creative mind on coming up with something new. And just how many things have they tried that they've scrapped?
Yeah.
That they tried to put together and no, that ain't going to work. So we got to start over. So anyway, yeah, just really cool. It's a shame their original CrossFit gym is no longer a CrossFit gym. Because it was until like 2 or 3 years ago. And then CrossFit Grandview moved out of that location. So we don't have that anymore, but man, and now they're building onto the factory so they had 5 buildings in Columbus. They built the new factory so they could get down to 1. They've grown so much, they're now in 4, and they're building onto the factory again to get down to 1.
That's crazy.
It's so big.
So awesome. Larry Young, she's such a boss. Mad props. They're a super couple. And like the coolest story I have with Katie is I was at Rogue working on the documentary team. I had a Penn State shirt on, and she came at me because that weekend Penn State was playing Ohio State, and she talked so much mad trash on me. And nothing about CrossFit, nothing about what was going on that day. She just wanted me to know that her Buckeyes were going to smash my Penn State Nittany Lions. So much fun.
Sounds like her.
And her banner hangs in the rafters at the arena because she is a Hall of Fame Buckeye basketball player.
Yeah, I think she still has like the most points or something for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think someone approached it. I don't know if they passed it like in the last year.
I think she still has the record.
Okay. It was close, but yeah, she has her jersey retired in the rafters at the arena here, and CrossFit Games champion. So
she does like some broadcasting for the women's basketball team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she does.
We'll travel with the team, like color commentary and stuff like that.
I bet she's great at that.
Yeah. So next one. Fact or fiction, the Toronto Blue Jays will win the World Series.
Oh, I should have worn my jersey tonight. Fact. We got this. We got this.
I hope they do. I don't like to see repeat winners. And the Dodgers dominated so much last year by sweeping the Yankees. I'm just glad Toronto won a game, and I hope they keep winning.
I do feel like a lot of people are hoping that Toronto wins. I feel the support from people that they want to have an underdog.
Yeah, that's
winner.
Typically the way it goes. I don't know. When the Tigers lost, I stopped watching. So your guys' guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. All right, last one. Fact or fiction? Saw speculation in the chat earlier tonight. The age group games will be in the same city as the Elite CrossFit Games one last time for the 20th anniversary.
Fiction.
I'm going to say fact because that's what would happen to me on the year that I have no way of competing. It would work out that it's all back together again, and I'm going to miss out. That's just
I
my
just
luck.
don't see it. I don't
Yeah.
see it happening.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I want it to happen one last time, but I don't think it will.
I think
that
they like it separate.
yeah, I agree. I don't think CrossFit wants to get them into the business of doing it again.
Yeah. I unfortunately think you're right, but I think they need to have their hands on it.
Because I think like Bob and Joe are programming already next year for the games. And it seemed like that was what I think it was Dave that said it maybe on one of the weekend reviews that they are going to have it again next year. And I just don't see them being in the same location as the CrossFit Games because now you have to go around the scheduling there. Are you talking about the same weekend or just same location?
I was when I said it, same location, I meant like the first part of the week.
Agreed.
And then it would turn over to the elites at the end of the week.
No, I don't think so. Not when you have not when you have outside programmers. I don't see that happening.
Well, maybe you would step in and like review their programming or give them some guidance. Which is what is needed. They need some
I say fiction on that.
So I didn't put this in fact or fiction, but I want to have this discussion because I threw it out to Jamie. And as much as I love the Masters community and everything about the Masters, I think the only way it survives is to turn it into 10-year divisions. There's just too many heats for that event. So you go 35 to 44, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, and 65 plus.
I actually think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that one before, but yeah, it's gonna look like those people in the older age groups are gonna get discouraged that they're not training for anything like specifically. I think it's a good idea, viewership wise, but it's hard because I do think that people love the 4-year gaps and train for that and stay.
I would argue that that's what MFC and Winter Legends is for, to build through that. And like you get in your 5-year bracket, you get your experience, and yeah, you might have 2-3 years off where you aren't making it to the games, but
okay, I like that idea.
Yeah, this is just for the games because
for
it's
the
special.
Worlds. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have these under MFC Legends or whatever, all the Masters one, NorCal that have Masters, and those you can have like the 4-year divisions.
Yeah. But I think that requires it going back to CrossFit and CrossFit running the whole thing. And it means something. They get the gear, they get the kits, they get that. Like that's what they need.
Same amount of people.
Prestigious. Yeah, I mean it'd probably be like 40, which would have equated to the 220 person groups. 40. You're gonna get some trickle in from the 40-year-old into the.
I don't think you can go up to 40 again. I don't. Because then you just have the same, you're adding the heats back in. Like, I think it has to be 20.
20, no more than 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can't be more than 20. Too many heats. It's boring. It's repetitive. No one wants to watch it unless you're family, friends.
It wouldn't be. It'd be half of what we just had.
If you want 40?
We just had 40.
You just had 30.
Is that all we had? It wasn't 40?
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be half of last year's.
I think two
That
heats.
was 40.
What, like, I think 2 heats. So whether it's like heats of 12s and you can do it 24 maybe, but I still think 30 is a lot.
Yeah, I think for the games, again, for the games only, you have to get the heats down. You have to make it watchable and palatable. And I think the only way to do that is to reduce the divisions and
No more than
no more than 2 heats a division. But I think with that comes the responsibility that you have to clean up the qualification aspect of it. You can't just go with no review over anything. The reason I didn't go with that, Larry, is I think 55 is where the open changes weights. So if you kept it at the 5s, it streamlines it because 55 goes to lighter weights, different gymnastics movements after that. So if you stay with the 10 starting at 5, you keep it in line with that scaling.
Yeah. I understand his thought process there, and I somewhat agree. But yes, unless they switched the weight changes over at 50, it wouldn't make sense.
The only I do like, yeah, I don't mind the 40 to 50, and you just like, you don't, if you're in your 30s, you're still going for the indie. But I think that having top 35 to 39-year-olds, like the level of fitness is just better to watch, like in the Masters division, which I don't know. Because you're
Andrew Stan, do you think the scaling will have to change as athletes like Grubb age up? It's that age-old question. Is he open for the tip of the spear, or is he open for everybody? And I think that's where it shouldn't matter who at the tip of the spear is getting there. You should be programming for the top 25% of the people in that age group, or whatever you think the next phase is.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that you have to concentrate on one outlier, because it can skew the whole division, and all of a sudden it's not fun to watch because it's like no one's doing it.
Exactly.
Like if he's the only one that's just so far ahead, he's going to be faster anyways, regardless. Yeah.
Remind me again if TRT is allowed. That is a complicated answer.
No,
TRT
it's not
is
allowed.
allowed. It is allowed, but you have to be in a range.
No, it's not.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
You wouldn't test positive, is what you're trying to say.
It's still not allowed, Scott.
It's not
like
allowed.
You can't do it. You can't do it just until you're at the max.
Caught.
That's still doing an external thing into your body. It's not allowed.
So even if like a doctor,
even if you're within range and you have low, you're not allowed to do that.
I'm pretty sure you can't even get a therapeutic use exemption for it, even if you were super low. I think.
Right.
No, X-Slop says there was a medical.
Yeah, you
exemption.
can get.
I don't know.
You can get a THU maybe. I don't know how that works, but.
So I had a Masters athlete on talking about how it was allowed with the medical exemption. So I don't know.
It's 1000% used in with people not having therapeutic usage, or they just are trying to get that, but they're just not testing enough for it.
Right.
And it's hard to detect, I'm assuming, if we aren't.
Well, if you still fall within the range, you're not going to pop for it.
But I think you would need a better test to distinguish between natural and synthetic, or whatever.
They're not going to pay for that high-end test.
Yeah.
But so Extra Sloppy says, yeah, they sent me a whole thing. I had to give them my labs and all of that.
See, CrossFit is saying 1 for TRT is not allowed, and that was my. I was under the same impression that TRT is not allowed, even if you were super low and the doctor told you needed to be on it. Like, you basically, that's what you choose to do, you're taking yourself out of the games.
Mm-hmm. TRT, peptides, all that. Nope.
There's a therapeutic use exemption right on the CrossFit page.
Yeah, many things can fall under that. Like people's asthma thingy can fall
Right.
under that. Like,
right.
Well, I'll look into it. Maybe we'll talk about it next week if Rogue is boring.
It won't be boring.
All right. Well, that ends Fact or Fiction for this week. Next week, I'll try to come up with pen, pencil, and Sharpie because everybody seems to be so enamored with it. They're answering that way in the comments. Extra Sloppy will forward me the email.
Okay.
All right, cool. So Rogue preview. We already talked about Katie's interview. Preview the field. Anybody you see that you think has an advantage this week at Rogue?
I think Pat is going to do well. I think he's been on the trending up with WFP and Tier Wadapalooza. And he just does well at Rogue. Like, I just think I think he's going to do well.
I'm curious to see how Gazan's going to do. First time that we're going to see her back after NorCal. You know, she was crushing it prior. She's someone that, you know, can do very well at Rogue with her strength, her brute strength and stuff like that. So curious to see how she'll do. I do agree. Pat's someone that's just consistent at Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does well there. Chandler always does well at Rogue. Yeah.
Is Danny going back?
I think Danny is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the people they had on the bus are like on the plane thing were people that were. So yeah, Danny's there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's.
Yep.
And then I'm excited to see Jeff because he skipped WFP. I'm hoping that he is, you know, back to his normal self. He just didn't seem like himself at the games.
He did not. Right?
So if he can get back to that place, I'm excited, and that's going to be exciting going into the next season.
So I'm going to move ahead to kind of my picks just because it's who I think is going to do well.
Okay.
So my podium are these three individuals. I don't know the exact order yet, but I think they're all motivated for different reasons. And the first one is Jeff Adler. I think he needs to do well. After what happened at the games, what happened at the first stop on WFP and not being able to compete in the second one, he just needs to do well. I think the second person that is going to do well is James Sprague. I think it is the one competition that he has struggled to do well on, and he wants to prove to the other boys that he can compete with them at Rogue. So I think he has extra motivation. But this is kind of my out there pick, and I think he's going to win it, is Justin. Okay. I think Justin Medeiros is motivated to get back. He's won it twice. He wants to go back and get on top. And I think he is doing everything in his power to train for this event. And he's done everything the last 6 to 8 weeks to do that.
I would love to see him do well. I would love it.
And so that is my pick to come out of nowhere to win is Justin Medeiros.
The 2-time Rogue champ. And
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I feel like, I don't know. Out of your Boys Interrupted, I almost feel like Hopper's going to do the best.
He just doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to, but I think he wants to make a statement.
I think in this season of so much activity, you have to look at motivation, and that's why I went in that direction. And the three people I think that are motivated the most to do well are Adler, Sprague, and Medeiros.
Colton's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
That event just does not fit his skill set.
Yeah,
He might.
I think he might.
He always has a few events that, depending on the programming, like he can kind of, it can line up for him sometimes.
Do you have girl picks or just boys?
Well, I just was starting with boys.
Okay.
My internet's down on my laptop, so I can't see the girls. That I had the boys up, so that one was easy. On the girls' side, I know that I was thinking Emma Lawson.
Okay.
Because it's been a long season for her.
Yeah.
You saw in the last WFP tour stop, she was getting a little bit better. I think Horvat's going to do well because she always does well at Rogue.
I agree.
It's not just Rogue. She always does well. She's better than the field.
WFP has not been great for her this year, but Rogue.
Just one event.
She's strong though, and that what is what Rogue showcases.
One bad event.
But she hasn't podiumed at either one, has she?
She literally just won. She won the last one.
She won Tour Stop 2?
Yeah. Emma Tall was second. And Amy Kringle is third place.
Okay. Well, I take that back.
Laura has
she's going to keep rolling, and Laura's going to win. I think Laura's going to win. Emma Lawson, and I'm going to go Ariel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I just don't know where Alex is.
Yeah.
On her rehab. I want to pick Alex, but I just don't know where she is.
Yeah. I agree with Ariel.
I think that's a solid pick.
Yep.
She's typically so consistent, like at any comp. Like she's only been a little bit off, maybe like once in the last few years, but you know, she's looking to do well here, just like Jeff's looking to do well here. On the men, I do like your Pat pick. Like I just feel like he's got some momentum. He's Rogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say Jeff.
I think he'll podium.
I do too.
Kind of like Brent from last year, where like Brent ended on the podium there, and that solidified like his last big comp. Like,
doesn't it worry you that Pat can't lift things overhead?
He can lift things overhead. Stop.
It always seems to fail him at Rogue.
His shoulder endurance. Yeah, I would agree. Which is weird because like other like certain things that are kind of shoulder intensive he's good at, but not like if you had to do a bunch of jerks, I feel like he's going to fail. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's in a podium. Personally.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be on the podium.
Jeff, Pat, and I could see Justin, but I'm gonna say Jason. I'm gonna say Jeff, Pat, and Jason.
CrossFit asks, is there anything Pat can break or fall off of?
That horizontal pegboard.
Yeah.
It's not super high off the ground, but.
Have you guys seen Ariel's horizontal pegboard? Yeah. Is that thing like not really high? Like it's really high.
Yeah, it's high.
I know it's kind of like a perfect place to put that off to the side in her new like little barn gym thing. But dang, it's up there.
It's crazy to look at, you know, everyone's equipment right now and like what they've built in their gym. Like everyone has built the log muscle up. It seems like everyone has a horizontal pegboard at their gym now. A lot of people working with the log. I saw, who was it? Lucy Campbell. She was at Emma McQuaid's gym and like working with the log, and she had a picture that she put on her story of her like falling with the log, I think. But a lot of people are, a lot of times, like, it's what you have access to in these practices, right?
Yes.
And so,
Well-
like, everyone I've seen, like, they look pretty good on the, like, they look like they're better than last year, because last year a lot of the field really struggled with that pegboard, right? Like, that was brand new.
Well, hopefully Haley's been practicing. We already heard Danielle wasn't practicing. Hasn't touched it since. Crazy.
If you're a Rogue athlete, do you buy like a log? Do you buy?
You can't buy it.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm thinking
You just
the
make it.
the one you press.
Oh,
The big
Yeah,
like camber bar or whatever.
or you
the
go
one
to
the
a
strongmen
local
use.
like gym that has
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because like Jason bought one off a Rogue. Now it's not the one they use at the competition, but it at least can like use it to.
Practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raptis was just showing a video of her doing those, like clean and jerks with it.
Gazan was just working out with a couple strongman people doing the log as well.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's such an advantage to getting some reps on it, right? And
For sure.
that's why,
Well-
like, Katie posted a picture of a few things, because those are implements that I think that they want the athletes to look a little bit better on maybe this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, go and practice these.
CrossFit says Dallin, Justin, and Jason. Oh, they're all Rogue athletes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like their gift cards or whatever, their stipend that they can buy those cool toys, right? Does that give people an advantage?
I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you have equipment, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we really only know 3 things that are there right now. But if you have certain Rogue equipment like that you're used to playing with, like, I feel like that would help. Because what do we know? It's bench, the pegboard, and the log.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Boys Interrupted seemed to think that was all going to be one event. I didn't read into it that it was one event. I read into it that, hey, these 3 things are coming with us. But they read into it that, hey, it's one event.
I don't think it matters. I think regardless, people come up with combinations, they put them together, they put them separate. Like, you just get touches on them now.
Yep.
Anytime any clues happen. I just wonder when they're going to release the workouts. In the past, I think they've done it like the Monday of the comp. There's one year where we found them out there. I think it was like 2021, where it was like very, very secret. And then other years was like the Monday of the competition. So probably maybe tomorrow we could maybe get or the day after we could maybe start getting some events released, hopefully.
The other thing Katie talked about in the interview was how much they care about leaks and how adamant they are about it. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, Carolyne didn't even tell us when she was testing events. And I won't even ask her because I know she won't tell me anyway.
Right.
But it's really cool that knowing that in the past 2 years, Carolyne had tested workouts and she wouldn't even tell us. And so it is a secret up until the event. And I know that Carolyne is so, as much as Katie cares about the event and that it being fair, Carolyne cares the same amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't tell anyone if I'm testing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We know.
Ever. And the only reason people knew is because she posted a picture of me last year.
Right.
Because or else, like, I don't want anyone to know. And it's
reaching out to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that I would say anything anyways, but like, I don't. And I just want to do well when I test because I want to give them good feedback too. And like, I care about the test almost as much as they do because like I've seen the test and I'm like, I feel like they could do this or I would be like way lower here. You know, you try to give feedback, but then you see it put and because you care about them asking you to test, like you want to make sure that they get it right because you know that they're trying to get it right. So yeah, no, I do care about tests.
Grant says, I want to try log muscle ups. Have you 2 ladies ever done them?
I never have. I would love to try them.
Have
Arm
you
muscle-ups
ever
are
done?
one of my favorite movements, so I would like them.
I mean, I competed at Rogue when we had them, and then I tested them.
How much harder are they?
You have to change the way you kip. Yeah, they're hard. I did well. Like the year I had, I think, were they there both years of my Rogue Invitational? I'm trying to think if I did it once
Yeah, I
or
remember.
twice. I know I did it in 2022. I don't know if they were there in 20. I don't think they were there in 2021.
I don't think so either.
They were there 2 years or I forget. They were there last year and definitely the year before. But they're hard. They're hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We are past time. The only other piece of news that I did want to touch on real quick, and then we'll get out of here, is there are events that are announcing times that fall within the CrossFit Games season, typically at the time of semifinals, but no formal announcement has been made on them, as no formal announcement has been made on who is going to be a semifinal. But the French Throwdown announced dates in that window. MadFit, which used to be the Madrid event. MadFit is in those events. Copasor, which has typically been a semifinal, and NorCal, which we knew previously to this week. But those four have all announced dates within that semifinal timeframe. So we might be getting an indication of what is going to be on tap for semifinals as an option. But hopefully on one of these CrossFit Games podcast episodes, the Sport of Fitness podcast, we'll get one of those announcements in the next week or two.
With like Copasor and French Throwdown, has there been, because I know Copasor last year was like region blocked. With their announcement of dates, did they say anything about that?
No, because they didn't say anything about the CrossFit Games.
I see.
But in Dave's Week in Reviews and the questions he's been asked, he has not seemed poised to make that change.
To make them not be region-based?
Right. He doesn't seem to like...
He's going to let them do what they want to do, however
Yep.
they want to. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that
it was just confusing. Some were open, some were not.
Yeah, that's not right. And it does not lead to getting the correct 30 people to the games. You can't limit that.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think we can really start bitching about it until we know if it's a fact or not, or fact or fiction.
Yep.
I think they either need all of them to Geo or none.
Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they all need to have a geographic wall or none.
Right. Yeah. None.
Yeah.
I also think you should cap the number that people can attend.
But with the last chance qualifier being after, it's like you have your one and then you have last chance qualifier.
Yep.
Or, like that's already more than what we had prior in years.
Yeah.
I mean, these regions are more people are at them, but yeah.
I also, for the event, I mean, I could even go to 2, but when people were like 3 and 4ing it, like that was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
I do want the event organizers to get good fields to bring people into the seats. So I understand that, but man, it was too much last year.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
way too much.
2 is okay.
Yeah.
That's probably it for me.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to hit the rack. Got to get to work tomorrow. Just a reminder, I got scheduled a meeting during my lunch time tomorrow, so I will not be on for lunch with the Clydesdale. until maybe 1 o'clock, but I'm also having my car fixed. So hopefully I can get on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. If not, we'll see you on Tuesday. And don't forget, Caroline Kluttz will be with me on Wednesday's episode of Lunch with Clydesdale. And we'll ask her whether she had the option to go elite or masters. We'll ask her how she felt about her performance. And we'll ask her if she made a $10,000 mistake. But we're going to talk about a lot of other stuff, because I've changed those from being interviews to just being conversations. And so we're just going to talk about whatever she wants to talk about in addition to that. With that, we'll see everybody either tomorrow or Tuesday. And bye.